So Dama Sheth and Kaveh Soloko join me on the show. Look, nowhere else to start, Dums, but the big breaking news. What more can you tell us, first of all?
Wow. So, Barcelona have confirmed that Lionel Messi will leave the club, and the club has put it down to economic and structural obstacles.
Yeah.
They released a statement, and it reads as follows. Despite having reached an agreement between FC Barcelona and Lionel Messi, and with the clear intention of both parties to sign a new contract today, it cannot be formalised due to economic and structural obstacles. That's as per Spanish La Liga regulations. Now, given this situation, Lionel Messi will not continue at FC Barcelona. I'll just repeat that bit. Given this situation, Lionel Messi will not continue at FC Barcelona. Both parties deeply regret that the wishes of both the player and the club cannot finally be fulfilled. Now, it goes on to say, Barca would like to thank with all its heart the player's contribution to the enhancement of the institution and wishes him the best in his personal and professional life. Now, if you rewind this time last summer, Lionel Messi announced that he wanted to leave Barcelona with 1 year remaining on his contract, and he believed a clause in his contract allowed him to leave on a free transfer because he had noted his intention to leave the club by a certain date. Barcelona did not agree with that. There was a bit of a dispute, or more than a bit of a dispute, between both parties. And in the end, Lionel Messi stayed at the club reluctantly, it has to be said. He did say that he did want to leave, but then he cited family issues as well as another reason to finally deciding that he was going to remain at Barcelona. Since then, he's enjoyed a very good season, not so much trophy-wise, but on the pitch for Barcelona. And it seemed all systems go for a new contract, a new long-term contract that would take him beyond even his playing career. They were talking about life after playing, but within the institution of FC Barcelona. And now we have this news that Barcelona have said that he will not continue at FC Barcelona. You just wonder now what the next step will be. Is this it? Is this the full stop on Lionel Messi and FC Barcelona? Because they've said that he will not continue with the club. Or are there still talks to be had between both parties because they said it couldn't be formalised due to economic and structural obstacles? You wonder if those economic and structural obstacles can be overcome and yet provide a future for Lionel Messi at Barcelona. But as it stands, he doesn't have a future at that club.
I think that's the key words, isn't it, really, as it stands. You know, you'd think if the player wants to stay, the club want to keep him, somehow they're going to do a deal that makes this work. Can they do that, Kaveh?
This is all to do with money. That's all it's about. The background to this situation is that Lionel Messi, a lot of people think, is the greatest ever footballer the world has ever seen. He was on an incredible contract at Barcelona. He was earning something like £100 million a year. Now, that contract ran out at the end of last season. Going forward, there was no way Barcelona could give him those terms again for two reasons. The first reason is because they have financial problems because of the pandemic. They've been playing in empty stadiums. Their finances have been hit very, very hard indeed. The second reason is because of the financial fair play rules in Spanish football. There was no way they could give him another £100 million a year contract. So throughout the summer, they've been working on a compromise, and the deal on the table was that he would have to take a pay cut. And up until this week, it looked like he was willing to accept that. So his wages would drop to about £50 million a year, and he was going to sign a new contract. Bear in mind, he's 34 years old. But in the past couple of days, everything has changed. Now, we don't know as of yet whether that is because he feels that he can get more money somewhere else. Maybe a club like PSG has been talking to him and saying, you are a free agent now, come to Paris. We want to reunite you with Neymar. We want you to play with Kylian Mbappe. Maybe that has happened. Or what Barcelona are saying today is actually what has happened, is that they've sat down, looked at all the numbers and worked out that even if they were to give Lionel Messi a 50% pay cut, they still would not be in a position to be able to keep him. And that is why they've released this statement. Bottom line is, it's all has to do with money. His wages, Barcelona's finances, and the financial fair play rules. But of course, the bigger picture now is that Lionel Messi is potentially available. And where is the money
Who could afford him?
Where is the money in football at the moment? Well, there is money in Paris. There's a little bit of money in Italy, not very much. Little bit of money in Munich. Most of the money, though, is in the Premier League.
Well, let's talk about that, because Vinny O'Connor is standing by to talk, obviously, about Jack Grealish. But let's go to him now and bring him in, because Vinny, I just want to get your reaction to the news that's just broken here and your understanding of what's happening. You know, you're in Manchester for us tonight. Let's get your reaction to this news breaking about Lionel Messi.
I think the first reaction is get that contract signed pretty quick, Jack, because obviously when you look back and at that dispute between Barcelona and Lionel Messi that Darmish was talking about, it could feasibly have been that Lionel Messi would have ended up here at Manchester City. Obviously that move never materialised. I jest obviously about getting that contract signed from Jack Grealish, because obviously it looks to be a completely done deal now. We just await the announcement with a few little details to be sorted out, and I don't think that announcement is too far away. We're talking about hours rather than days. It could drag on until tomorrow, but there's a growing expectation that maybe it could possibly happen this evening as regards Jack Grealish. But ultimately, when it comes to Leo Messi, it's certainly a lot of shock at the moment, although I've just been speaking to some City fans, and you probably saw them just go past in the background there, and their immediate reaction was when I mentioned Leo Messi was that, well, he's past it. Well, for someone like me who's watched him throughout his career, I think he's still got a lot to offer, even 34 years of age, and it will be interesting to see exactly where he turns up next. As regards the transfer business that is happening here, I mentioned Jack Grealish. We await the announcement as regards that. He, of course, had his medical this morning. A little later on today, his members of his family turned up along with his representative, and shortly after that, it was around about 1:30 this afternoon, we saw Jack Grealish leave the Etihad campus. He was driven away in a club car, and at that point it seemed appropriate to say that his medical had been completed, and the expectation was that he was then going to do the club media, the in-house photographs, the publicity photographs, and the in-house interviews ahead of any kind of announcement. Obviously this has all come about after his £100 million release clause in his Aston Villa contract was triggered by Manchester City, and it left Jack Grealish with that dilemma. Does he stay loyal to the boyhood club, the club he supported his life, the club that he spent 19 years of his career at, or does he indeed move on for the greater chance to compete for the game's major honours? Well, it seems that he's chosen the latter. He leaves Aston Villa, it seems, with the respect in his decision from the management, from his teammates as well, and as I say, we're edging ever closer to that announcement now that will confirm him as the most expensive transfer in British history.
We'll get to Jack Grealish back in the studio here in just a minute. Thanks for now, Vinny. Let's go back to Messi then, Carve, because, I mean, for me, I'm thinking all sorts of things. I'm thinking what happens to Joan Laporta. His election was pretty much based on Messi staying, so what happens to him now? Also, dare I say, European Super League. Does this, have implications for this? Because Barcelona, were they going to give up on that completely? If they'd continued with that, would they have been able to afford? There's so many questions to be answered. I know you don't have all the answers, but...
You know what, actually, just looking at the statement that Barcelona have released, reading between the lines, it looks like this is a power play between Barcelona and La Liga.
Right. Now,
relations between the big clubs in Spain, Real Madrid, Barcelona, and La Liga have been strained for a very, very long time. And if you read this statement from Barcelona, it says that Barcelona and Lionel Messi reached an agreement, and the clear intention of both parties was to sign a new contract today. But this cannot happen because of financial and structural obstacles, in brackets, Spanish Liga regulations. So basically what Barcelona are saying is that we have agreed a deal with Lionel Messi. He's ready to sign. We are ready to sign. But because of La Liga's rules, we are not able to sign Lionel Messi to a new contract. So what I think they're doing is putting it out in the public, saying to the bosses of La Liga, the best player arguably ever in the world is going to leave Spanish football unless you back down. So it is an incredible game of brinkmanship between Lionel Messi and Barcelona on one hand, and La Liga, a man who runs La Liga, Javier Tebas. He is not very popular at all with the people who run Barcelona, not very popular at all with the people who run Real Madrid. But I think this statement, I'd be very surprised if this was the end of the line. What we now need is a response from the Spanish League to see what they have to say. Will they stick to their guns and say the rules are the rules, we're not changing them for Barcelona, we're not changing them for Lionel Messi, we're not going to change our rules? Where if they stick to that line, then Lionel Messi will leave Barcelona and he'll probably leave Spanish football as well, and it would be a big blow obviously for Spanish football. I think even yesterday they announced that they had sold 10% of La Liga to a private equity firm, CVC Capital Partners. They will obviously want to make sure that if they're paying, what was it, £2.3 billion for a 10% stake in La Liga, they would want to make sure that Lionel Messi is going to be playing in La Liga over the next few years. So this is not the end of this matter by a long way. I still think the crucial thing here is in this statement, Barcelona is saying, we have agreed with Messi. The contract is there. We are ready to sign it. Lionel Messi is going to sign it. It is just that the Spanish league, La Liga, and their rules are stopping us from doing this.
It's very interesting actually, because they've done it in the very first paragraph here, naming Spanish La Liga's regulations, putting the onus on La Liga. Do you want to have a league without who is perceived to be the best player in the world? 2 or 3 seasons ago, you lost Cristiano Ronaldo from Real Madrid and you lost him from Spanish football. That was a blow for La Liga. Do you want the same thing to happen again now with Lionel Messi? And I think it's almost Barcelona's way of challenging La Liga. We've got everything sorted our end, but your regulations aren't allowing us to put this deal through. As far as Messi is concerned, he came back to Barcelona following his break after Argentina won the Copa America on Wednesday, and he was due to be in attendance at a game on Sunday, a Gamper Trophy match against Juventus. However, he's still not technically under contract at Barcelona, because as of July the 1st, he became a free agent. And the contract that's on the table for a 34-year-old, yes, he had to take a 50% wage cut, but how often do you see a 34-year-old get a 5-year contract? That's how unique Lionel Messi is. As not to say that he would be playing for the entire 5 years, but he would be associated with Barcelona, intrinsically linked for the rest of his playing career and beyond at the club where he spent the entirety of his career. And now Barcelona are saying, yes, we're all sorted. They made all the noises from the end of the season up until now. This contract is in place. We are very confident that Lionel Messi will sign it. This is what it says in principle, no problems at all, until these regulations have been highlighted by Barcelona to suggest to La Liga, the ball's in your court now, because if we carry on like this, it's bye-bye Lionel Messi, not only from Barcelona, but potentially from Spanish football as well.
OK, let's turn our attentions to stories that kind of are evolving here as well. And I guess the one that's really important at the moment is Harry Kane. Where are we with this at the moment then? I mean, uncertainty over Messi. We've got Grealish almost in the bag, I guess. What about Harry Kane? Sorry, I know you're on the phone. If you could just tear yourself away there for a minute.
No, I was just emailing the comms people at La Liga to try and get a response from them about what Barcelona have just said about them. Where are we with Harry Kane? Harry Kane obviously is still not training with Spurs. I think the situation is that Manchester City would still like to sign him, but how many £100 million deals can you do in a week? I think there is that sense that they are sorting out the Jack Grealish situation. That will be sorted out this evening, probably very, very shortly. I think then once that is done, I think they will focus on trying to sign Harry Kane, and there's still another 3 weeks of the window to go. But obviously the problem there is the valuation. What we'd been told is that they had offered £75 million plus some players. Spurs were not interested in that at all. To get Spurs interested, you've got to start offering about £150 million. So again, it's going to come down to money. But Harry Kane has made his position very clear. He wants to go to Manchester City. He wants to play for Pep. He wants to play with Jack Grealish and Kevin De Bruyne. But obviously Spurs have him on a 3-year contract, and they will not let him go unless it is in the interests of the club to sell Harry Kane.
We saw Vinny O'Connor up in Manchester just then, almost joking about get that contract signed, Jack Grealish, with this Messi news. I just wonder now, because Manchester City have been intrinsically linked with Lionel Messi since last summer, not only because they could potentially afford to do a deal, but of course the relationship between Pep Guardiola and Lionel Messi. Pep Guardiola has won 2 Champions Leagues. Famously, he hasn't won the Champions League without Lionel Messi. Would Manchester City be interested in Lionel Messi? And having signed or on the verge of signing Jack Grealish, would that have any kind of knock-on effect on what they could do with Harry Kane if Lionel Messi suddenly became available? Just an interesting point to put out there. It could be well down the line, you know what, in their thinking with Harry Kane, and because this one has kind of come out of the blue, but as Carve was expertly explaining before, this seems like a power play now between Barcelona and the Spanish League.
I think it will be something that clubs like Manchester City won't want to get involved in. This is an internal dispute. This is about Spanish football politics, and I don't think Manchester City will want to derail their plans or get diverted this
hang on,
summer.
if Messi's available and you could afford him, you'd want him
he's available, but he's available on a £50 million a year contract, and he's 34. And I think Manchester City have moved on. I would be very surprised if they were to, change their plans and go and try and sign Lionel Messi. Because of the statement that Barcelona have released today, Barcelona have said the will of the player is clear.
Yeah.
He wants to sign a contract and stay at Barcelona. His family want to stay in Barcelona. He doesn't want to leave Barcelona. Barcelona don't want him to leave. It is just La Liga who Barcelona feel are causing unnecessary problems. But to be fair to La Liga, they will say, look at the state that Spanish football is in. One of the reasons we've got into this state is because Barcelona and Real Madrid get so much more of the revenues than the other clubs, although those rules have changed and it is a bit more even. So Javier Tebas at La Liga has got a very, very difficult job because he's trying to represent the interests of all 42 clubs, not just Real Madrid and Barcelona. But those clubs, Real Madrid and Barcelona, are bigger than La Liga ultimately. And he has been fighting very, very hard to make Spanish football more marketable, more popular around the world, and also fairer, and put it on a stronger economic footing. So you can see it from La Liga's point of view as well. They need to have these financial fair play rules in place, because you can't have a situation where people are getting paid £100 million a year, even if you are Lionel Messi.
Just finally, just say that Barcelona and Lionel Messi do part ways, as this statement, if we take it on face value, suggests. Last summer, we were talking about Manchester City and Messi. Would they sign him? But because of the mess around his contract and the dispute around his contract, he would have commanded a transfer fee, which, on top of the wages, would have made it completely unaffordable for any club to do. This time, there's no transfer fee. So I get the point that the wages would be astronomical, but you're taking away 150, 200 million pound potential transfer fee from that deal that would have been done last summer compared to this summer.
The one place,
and shirt deals within a week.
the one place I could potentially possibly see him ending up, although I don't think he will, because I think his heart is set on staying at Barcelona. The one place I think he could end up is PSG. PSG is the one club who have the finances, who would fit in with the whole sort of what they're trying to do at PSG.
And they've got a certain Mauricio Pochettino as their manager.
All right, look, we could talk about this all night, but we can't because we've got to get on.